By the end of this video, you will discover just who PandaPop is. We will expose their name that we all know them as, followed by their real name. Certain revelations will be revealed and reveled in, I'm sure, about myself and them and our relationship as a whole with everybody concerned. So strap in, buckle up, grab your popcorn because you're not going to want to miss this. This is going to be the epicness that broke all epicness. Now, to start off, we can see that back in as far as December of last year, I produced my first video on PandaPop. That's right, PandaPop has been around a very long time. 2nd of December, this video I put out exposing PandaPop for being a hater and now an Ingham fan. So whether or not they're an Ingham fan is up for debate. Now, when I recently revealed that I would be exposing Panda, he or she put out this comment and said, "Believe as you wish. If Mr. R knows who I am, I'm sure he will reveal to you soon, my dear. For now, try and have a splendid day. Toodle pip for now." Oh, yes. Well, I happen to take you up on that offer, Panda, and here we are. So, popular panda, ever the most popular panda in town, commented this on a recent video, and they say, "All these pathetic excuser replies from you weasels. You have a grown man who doesn't leave his filthy house, claims his pip while sat behind a screen, being the big man, bullying children and their parents. He does this because his own mother failed him. He is like the little lost boy inside a man's body, screaming out for the attention he never got when he was young." See, that very comment there kind of is enough for me to go in hard on you, Panda. So, guess what? I went in hard on you. He cannot stand to see these children have a childhood he wishes he had. Now, what's the next best thing he does in his warped head? Hates on children every day and literally wishes Sarah was his, not Mr. Ingham's. Oh yeah. Let's face it, why would anyone look up to you? You look a mess. Go have a shave. Stop wankinging over Mrs. Ingham every night and stop bullying children. Lovely lady, isn't she? Sorry, I let it slip. She's a lady. Well, not a lady. She's a woman, a female, right? Ladies don't talk like this, clearly. I know a few ladies, not one of them talks like you at all. She also replied to this one saying, "You lot are the deranged fans to a low-lifer sat in his dingy flat, wanking over Mrs. Ingham, obsessing over their every move and the children's, you sad twat of a fan." So, that is PandaPop in a nutshell. She is a very horrible human being. But, what do we know about Panda? Well, we do know that Panda does have a hatred towards anyone who hates on kids. Wow, a video dedicated to bullying a child. What an utter disgrace you are, Mr. R/Baz. Not quite sure who Baz is. Nothing's wrong with them. What a nasty bunch of people picking at children. Go be concerned over your own children. No one should hate on an innocent child, whether it's the Ingham's children or not. Mr. R, you are sick in the head for this video title and your narrative. I think you need to be sectioned for your own sanity. You are showing disturbing, worrying behaviour issues. I do hope the Benefits Office knows about the extra income you receive for bullying children. So she clearly dislikes anybody that picks on a child. She doesn't think that people should be bullying children. Neither do I, by the way. But here is the thing, right? The actual person that we are talking about is this lovely lady. Let me introduce you to our guilty party, shall we say. Name's blurred out for the minute, so keep on guessing. But here's what this person who is against bullying children had to say. Esme was bitching not long ago. That's right. Bullying a child doesn't bode well, does it? Such a classy family. Girls with their legs and feet all over the chairs and toys and rubbish everywhere. Such a respectful family. It's not very nice having a go at the family for being slobs, basically. Not a nice look, is it? The next one, she says, they try their cuisine. The kids don't run around screaming and are educated. They look clean and mixed with other people. They tell you the pros and cons and don't spend every day slating every single thing. Then you have this lot. So other people's kids are well educated, well clean, well looked after, well behaved, and then you have this lot. Again, not very nice to be bullying children, is it? It's not a good look for you. Then, the piece de resistance, we have, I've never seen such a grummy looking family try and come across as loaded the way these do. Unkept. All need braces, dressed in sheen, all with hair that needs a good trim, all look scruffy, mouthy, self-absorbed, unaware of their surroundings. A dad that thinks he's 18, dressed like a homeless person, woo-hooing to everyone. They're getting like those inbred families you watch documentaries on. The shame. That's right, scruffy, mouthy, self-absorbed. Looked like inbred family. They look like inbreeds. Oh my goodness gracious me, that's not a very good comment. In fact, I would go as far to say that that is a far, far, far worse comment about the children than I've ever seen on my channel. Ever. This coming from the person who is so against bullying children that she has grown a brand, a trolling brand off it. Yeah, think about that for a second. Now we have one or two contradictions that I would like to bring to your attention. This is Panda talking about Jace and his birthday morning. How do you know if he wasn't up already before they started filming? He may have put his glasses back on whilst they told him to wait in his room to get his cake ready. But no, you total spanners would always find something negative to say. You see what 20 to 30 odd minutes of their whole day. How could you possibly know for a fact they don't do any education? Why would the likes of you want to waste social's precious time? There are children out there that really need that type of intervention, yet you are mocking this service by reporting children that don't need this type of intervention. And then I think this channel is the definition of desperate. I mean, Mr. R/Baz must be desperate that he has to pinch Ingham's copycat video for his own channel. Now that is desperate. As we can see, Panda doesn't understand why we do what we do on this channel and why we talk about certain things on this channel. She doesn't get it. However, her alter ego certainly does. I just so happen to agree with everything he stands for. Referring to me, I was unaware of certain dangers until I started watching the Raccoon, but now I'm fully aware, which is my goal, and she reckons that I made her fully aware and yet doesn't understand certain things that I talk about. Go figure. What is wrong with it? So what if these videos make a few quid? Do care workers, social service staff work for free? Children's charities all have paid people working for them. What's the difference? So again, talking about the money that I earn. She understands it, completely gets it. Under this alter ego, obviously. Except blurring the faces out doesn't mean a thing. It's no different to Chris and Sarah filming strangers and kids every single day and making money off of it. So she does seem to get it under this guise, doesn't it? Why isn't anyone allowed to be rude to them, but they can be absolutely vile to people in their comments? But I've seen it said, Panda, that you think that people shouldn't be horrible to Chris and Sarah, but apparently you're allowed to because they're allowed to. I'm a bit confused. Now, Panda's pals are those that he, or she, rather, has been friends with under both accounts. First of all here, she is talking to Joanna, right? But, however, in a previous life, Panda's also been also nice to Joanna here. She sure does make our day, that one. Oh, have a laugh with Joe. All right, Jojo. Also with this person, N700 Rat, having, you know, a banter, I guess, there. But also under the previous name, or her alter ego, was all very nice and jokey there too. And then we had, wow, this was a very nice comment, I feel. Punch and Judy Chin you've got there. One big spud head to DS. And back in the day, DS was a friend. Hey, DS! Hi, how you doing? But at the same time, you know, mocking her. Now this one, Perry, Panda doesn't like Perry very much, calling him what's it breath all the time. However, under her alter ego was not just nice to Perry, very, very supportive. Please look after yourself. None of this is your fault. They can get in serious trouble for manipulating you. That's right. So, very nice to Perry, weren't you? But, not so nice, really. Not that nice, I'm not going to lie. But, in one way or another, most people have had interactions with Panda especially, and if you've been very lucky, you've also had interactions on the other side of the coin where she's been very, very two-faced with you. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the revealing of who PandaPop actually is. But first of all, we're going to go through why I think what I think. And I can tell you that I am 100% sure. I was on 99% sure until recently, until I got the nail in the coffin for her, right? So Panda has said here, Mr. R, you have hurt many people in your time, myself included. Have a think about why someone like me will always reply to trolling and bullying comments. I had a think about it, and I came up with this, right? I figured it out. Anyway, right? So, a little while ago, well, quite a long time ago, Panda said this. I was fooled by this channel once, not no more. What put me off is I started to see people for who they really were. The comments about the very children they claim to want to protect are the same people writing such atrocious stuff about the children. Also, Mr. R and his drama queen supporters are not as loyal as people think. And this was the point here that got the ball rolling, basically. Discord, for example, he didn't do anything when one of his very loyal supporters was getting attacked by his so-called other supporters. They all just thrive off drama and gossiping. So yes, back in the day, quite a few months ago now, I had a Discord group set up. It's still set up there. Some people still chatting away and they're happy with it, right? But it's not open right now for this very reason. There was a bit of drama that went on back there and it got a little bit messy. And this is what she's referring to. Dougal was really horrible. It didn't stick up for a supporter that got attacked. Now, I'm not going to say who that was, but it's not quite as cut and dry as that was made out to be. However, the main point here is that she was in Discord. She's saying that she was in Discord, and she knew that there was a bit of a drama going on. Now that kind of narrows it down to a certain select few people it could possibly be. Obviously she could be bluffing and she wasn't in the group and she's just guessing, right? That was also a possibility. However, if she was in Discord, which I firmly believe she was, that narrowed it down to 20 people, right? There was a maximum of 20 people in there at any one time. Now, I've gone through the entire list of people that were in there, and the majority of them are absolutely fine. Nice people, genuine people, nice people. And then it brought it down to, I narrowed it down basically to maybe 5 people who it could possibly have been, right? Even then, that's stretching it. So that gave me something to work with. I mean, it just was. It couldn't be anybody out with the group. So it had to be somebody within the group, 100%. And there's a few more reasons why that could be, which we're going to get into. Now, sticking on the topic of Discord, this was posted a long time ago to Janine. Janine, right, was also in Discord at that time, and Panda said, "You really don't have no clue who I am. You have watched this channel long enough. You should know I am an ex-supporter of this channel. I am surprised you haven't worked out who it is yet. How's Australia and how's the weather?" Right? So if you don't know, sorry Janine, but it's for the good of the cause. Sorry. Janine is from Australia. She's quite open about that, I think. And around that time, because I've gone back and I've checked, around that time, she commented in Discord about the weather. Right? She was talking about the weather being nice, right? It was very obvious that that was what the dig was about by Panda. So Panda confirms to me there that she was definitely in Discord, because there's no other way that that would be common knowledge, in my opinion. So next up, we have a bit of a grammatical dilemma, right? So I came across this in one of Panda's most recent comments, and it got me thinking. I thought this is a little bit weird, in my opinion. Some of you probably think, what the hell's a big deal, right? So Panda's commented here the word unkept, right? Unkept. You might think maybe it's a spelling mistake, or you might think that's indeed how it's spelt. Now, in the very same paragraph, she also used the word unkept. Now, I don't know if many of you know this. Some of you do. Some of you might be thinking that. Yeah, anyway, this is a bit of an English lesson for everybody. The word is not unkept, not in this context. It is unkempt with an M before the P. And a lot of people get that wrong, admittedly. So you might be thinking, well, okay, it's not a big deal. It's not you know, but in my opinion, it's not something that she would necessarily intentionally spell wrong to put me off the trail, because a lot of people do think that that's how it's spelt. So I had a look through my comments and I came across a handful of people that have spelt it unkept in the past on my channel. One of them happened to be the very same person we're talking about today, which is ironic and possibly coincidental. So as we can see in that previous post that I showed earlier, where she was slagging off the kids for being scruffy, she also said they look unkept, right? Again, wrong. But that just proves it's another nail in her coffin to say that it's very similar grammatical errors happening there, which kind of just goes to show that, yeah, maybe. Now another one, and people might again be thinking, well, what is the big deal? Now the big deal is, I don't see many people say this an awful lot of times, right? I don't. So Panda said, "Are you sure Mr. R doesn't message younger girls behind his so-called wifey's back? Do your research, honey, before opening your mouth." So we're going to forget about the rest of it for now and just focus on the so-called bit. Now, this is the same person who messaged me within a Discord private message conversation, and she said, just pissed that there's so-called supporters of yours. Now again, a lot of you will be thinking, and probably rightly so, it's a little bit, well, not really anything. It was something and nothing really, you know, so what? Lots of people say it, but I don't see an awful lot of people on my channel saying that those exact words, that phrase, so-called. In my opinion, it's a little bit off, and I'd seen it before said to me, so there it is. She just keeps nailing that coffin well and truly shut. Now here's another one which is a bit of an oddity in my opinion. Panda has called people on my channel old codgers. Now that's an old term, isn't it? An old codger. I haven't heard that one for years, but she said it a couple of times now. They're calling you lot old codgers, right? As in old people. Old people. Almost granny like, might you say? Grannies, good old grannies, right? So the same person in my Discord in DMs to me has called people in my Discord grannies, right? She was absolutely obsessed with calling them grannies no fewer than 7 times within a DM conversation. So I mean, draw your own conclusions there. As I said, old codgers is a very old term and nobody really uses it now. It's very strange to be calling, or, you know, grouping you all together as old. But also somebody who is very obsessed with the fact that people are old, right? Also, by the way, not very nice calling people who you chat to every day grannies. She couldn't stand to talk to the grannies. That's what she said. Anyway, there you go. Now, one more thing which I found pretty much like a nail well and truly shut of that coffin, and it was this. The term give over, right? You may have heard that in passing. People say it. Certain regional dialects say it more than others, I guess. But you've got Panda here saying give over. I've never really seen it in my comments, to be honest with you, at all. Nobody else has ever said it. And here you've got the same person saying it as well, give over. You know, our lovely, very lovely lady who's about to be revealed very shortly also says give over. So I did actually a little bit of Googling just to check on regional dialects, and give over is attributed, would you believe, to in particular the north, but even more specifically Yorkshire, which is where she claims to be from. Obviously that could be a lie. Obviously I don't believe anything that she says at all, but she claims to be from Yorkshire. The regional dialect of the term give over is actually Yorkshirean, yeah, that one. So that I found very odd and a bit too coincidental, if I'm being honest with you, because that's a very weird, and yeah, it's a term not heard that often. Admittedly, I did hear Sarah Ingham say it recently, but I think at this point I ruled out any involvement of the Inghams. Of course, Sarah is also from Leeds, which is in Yorkshire, so you know that kind of stacks up. So there's that. But now I would like to trundle back a little bit and address a comment that she'd already made, Panda, and this is the nail that hits every coffin nail shut, every hammer that hits every coffin nail shut, right? And be aware that this is going to maybe bring a bit of attention on myself, revealing things about my private life. But, you know, I'd rather do that than she does. So, here we go. Are you sure that Mr. R doesn't message younger girls behind his so-called wifey's back? Right, so basically what she's referring to here is my wife, my so-called wife. That was the thing that kind of got me thinking at the time. Saying my so-called wife is very telling, because it tells me a lot, right? It's not just saying my wife, it's saying my so-called wife. Now, there's a reason why she's saying my so-called wife, and we're going to get into that in a second. But bear in mind, the earlier part of this statement, she says, younger girls, not young girls, all right? Younger girls. It was very clear and very careful about the wording there. So we go on to this next comment here, which was a comment which was sent to me after the fact, and it's between two people in DMs talking about me whilst she is being my friend. She messages to this other person, how old is she though, referring to the alleged messages with a younger person, right? And then she goes on to say she's clearly half his age or more, right? So that's the first part of the conversation. Then she goes on to say, so if his missus is from Peru, and that's the first revelation for everybody, and it kind of clears up one or two things that might have been a question on everybody's minds. Yes, my wife is from Peru, and I've lived in Peru. Yay me. Chris knows this. Well, Chris actually doesn't. His narrative is slightly different to this, so I know that it's not Chris at this point that any of this is behind. She goes on to say, so if his missus is from Peru, then that makes sense as to why he was messaging me the other couple of weeks back, talking about his wife and how he wants to leave her but can't. He's probably wanting to leave for this girl. He says he can't divorce her though, so surely what he means is if he divorced her, then she'd have to go back to Peru, as the marriage visa would not be valid anymore. There's nothing like a bit of gossip to get in the way of the truth. But there you go. That is what she was talking about behind the scenes with somebody else, whilst pretending to be nicey to me. Yeah, she actually was. So that is what she's on about when she says my so-called wife messaging younger girls and things like that. So she's not a very nice person, in my opinion, to, by the way, be gossiping, which I thought was outlawed, apparently. So anyway, we're going to reveal in a second just who this is, because the amount of crap that she has tried to manipulate other people with in favour of whatever narrative she wants to spin is unreal. The things that I've read, it's just been trying to manipulate people for her own gain, whatever she wants. I don't know, it's just manipulation. It's crazy. And she spread my private DMs far and wide, so I've absolutely no problem with sharing any of this whatsoever. So I messaged the person concerned about a week ago just to see what she had to say when I confronted her. And she didn't say anything. She was like, "Oh well, this is it's just unbelievable why you would think this of me. I don't know where this has come from, right?" And then she posted this, which was ironic, right? Panda at this point had not commented on my channel for a few days, and then on that same conversation that I was having with her, she posted this to show me that Panda just commented on my channel. So it's a standard comment from Panda, but it was the point that it says here, posted 17 minutes ago. So she screenshotted this comment 17 minutes after it was posted and then sent it along to me. And I'm thinking, okay, that's you. Right, that's you. I'm sorry, it doesn't prove to me because you waited 17 minutes to show me. It just felt a little bit, coincidental, shall we say. So yeah, she's not happy, I don't think, with me thinking it's her. But I do have the receipts. So let's go and have a look now. This is the big reveal that you've all been waiting for, and it's a cracker. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the big reveal. The wait is finally over. It is a world exclusive. It is Jackie Rundle. Oh, yeah, you'd bet you never saw that one coming, did you? All you detractors, you. She pulled the wool over everybody's eyes, but no more. And just to show you that all the screenshots are in fact from Jackie, even the ones from my private DMs and things like that. Jackie's name all over them. Right, but that is not all. So, who is Jackie Rundle? Is that even Jackie's real name? Well, no, in actual fact, probably not. Let's be honest with you. It can't be, can it? So, looking at Jackie's WhatsApp profile, right, obviously blurring out her number and everything, you can see her picture, right? Whether or not that's her real picture is another matter, but I think it is. Yeah, I think, yeah, she looks fine. Those eyebrows are on point. On fleek, some might say. Now all the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. I did a video a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago. It was an unblocking video. Okay, so I went back through and I was looking just out of random curiosity, and I looked. If you look in the top left hand corner, one of the people that I've blocked previously on my channel is this person here by the name of Alex Powell, and she just so happens, believe it or not, she just so happens to have the pretty similar features to that of our lovely Jackie. Oh yes, could they be one and the same person? The question being, if they are in fact the same person and they look very much like they are very, very similar, then why on earth have I got Jackie on my blocked list from months, if not years ago. Why has Jackie previously been blocked by me? I don't block a lot of people, and I only block them for valid reasons. I don't block them for nothing. So what she did must have been pretty bad in order to get blocked. Possibly an iFan, possibly a massive hater, but whatever the case may be, it just cements the fact that Jackie is not a nice person, is she? Not at all. Because if you had any doubts about her in general, just the fact that I blocked her previously, that she's trolled me previously, it just paints a nice little picture of the person that she actually is. So I needed further validation, and so I decided to message her on WhatsApp using a different number, obviously, and I put to her, "Hi Alex," because I assumed her name is Alex, and believe it or not, she didn't deny it, right? Or maybe she was a bit confused, so I gave her the benefit of the doubt. So I just replied to her and I said, "How are you?" And she replied, "Who are you?" See, most people would have replied something along the lines of, "I think you have the wrong number," or the wrong name, or whatever the case may be, if it wasn't her, if I completely got it wrong. But she just didn't deny it. She just didn't say, "By the way, I think you have the wrong number," because that would have been a normal person response to this situation. Very defensive, I felt. Where do you claim to know me from? School? Well, I don't think so. So you either tell me who you are and what you want, or I block you. That's a very defensive response. You know, if somebody's genuinely got a wrong number and she's jumped down my throat like that. Anyway, yeah. Hi Jackie, or Alex, it's me, yay. Anyway, that is Jackie, or Alex, or whoever she may be. Let me know in the comments down below what you think and how you feel about this situation. Thank you all so much. Please give this video a massive thumbs up. Comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, have an amazing day. Take care, and bye-bye.